Hi guys, and welcome to Curated Logic, where we try to up your brain game. So, as you will have noticed, I have not been creating many videos over the last few weeks. In fact, I've created none. The last video I did was on Not Prawn and was a challenge I set you guys, and I still haven't got round to trying to finish that game because I've been paying more attention to the creation of the website. For those of you who have followed me from the beginning, you know that Curated Logic is a forthcoming trivia website. And I was originally hoping to have it done by about this time, but as I have done more and more, I've realized that learning to code is hard, and I really want to get things right perfectly. Well, maybe not perfectly, but as close to as can be before I release anything. So rather than try to rush something out, even though this would be the perfect time, because I'm sure you're all clamoring to do some quizzes or online stuff now that most people are stuck at home, I decided that I would really take my time and use this time I've got at home to do the best job I can do. So, in order to kind of give you an idea of what I've been working on, I'm going to give you a quick glimpse of some of the website. Okay, so what I've been working on mostly for the past few weeks has been the homepage. What I am trying to do with this website is to keep it as minimalistic as possible. I really like things when they're aesthetically pleasing, and I like minimalism for that, because I found that with a lot of the websites out there, a lot of the quiz websites and general knowledge websites that I use, I don't find them visually pleasing. And that just means that I get a bit frustrated and end up not playing as much as I would if I found them more easy to use and a better flow visually. So that's what I'm trying to create. I'm doing all the imagery, I'm doing all the design, so it is taking a bit of time because, like I say, I draw all these images myself. When you start, you will have a member sign-in area or a registration area. So if you haven't signed in, obviously, you can register there or you can sign in. As you will see with a number of pages that I'm going to show you in the future or in this video, they're not done. The homepage is the one that's mostly done. The rest of them are kind of just a simple outline of what needs to be there, and then I'll add more to it so it looks more aesthetically pleasing. So you will sign in. I am using me as an example. And then obviously, like most websites, it goes back to the homepage. You've got a little thing up the top to show you can go to your user HQ, or you can go down here, and the registration and login area has changed to be about you. So it's going to have all the information to the right of the user, showing what your statistics are, which battles you've competed in, what your best quiz is, all that type of thing. If you want more information about yourself, you just click onto your name and you go to the full user HQ, which shows you your profile and your statistics. You can hear me clicking on the laptop, so I apologize about that. But yeah, underneath is stuff that won't change once you're signed in. It's always the same. First, it's your latest quizzes and flashcards. Well, the latest quizzes and flashcards. So it's set up to have the latest 5 quizzes for each of the different major categories. There are 9 major categories I'm using: art, beliefs, entertainment, geography, history, literature, which I'm thinking about calling language because it covers more than just literature, but I haven't made up my mind yet. Nature, science, and sports. As with most quiz websites, these 9 categories are typically the ones you will find that cover pretty much everything. But underneath each category, there is going to be a number of subcategories, which may come across a number of different major categories. So for instance, I have the quiz of the week here, which is world capitals, major category being geography, minor category being cities. But I've also done a quiz about the old capitals of the world, which falls under history, and then the minor category is still cities. So the minor categories will go across all the different categories, whereas the major categories will be only themselves. They won't commingle. I am only going to have the one major category and the one minor category for each quiz, just to keep it really simple. And I think it will just make more sense. But you will be able to, in the future when I've done them, choose to look at every single major category quiz that exists, and also every single minor category quiz that exists across all of the major categories. Under that, I've just done a rolling scroll bar for my 5 main socials. There are leaderboards, which I've created not only for the top players, but also for the most popular quizzes that have been played, and a little bit at the bottom to show you some extra little features that I'm doing. So one is the big quiz, which will cover every single quiz I have made up until that point, which means you can do a quiz that will draw questions from everywhere. So that will be really hard, but it will be a lot of fun, I think, because you will test your brain really well. I'm also trying to implement a number of versus games. So as you can see here, there's something called the 10th Duel. So that's going to be like a board game. There's going to be trivia battles, which is literally just you battle against someone else to see who gets the best score, or a group of people. And party play is going to be something like, I'm hoping for something like Mario Party-esque in a way. I love Mario Party and I love mini games, so I want to create a whole heap of little mini games that people can play centered around trivia and learning trivia. I'm not quite sure exactly how that's going to go. I've got a few ideas, but I'm pretty keen on doing that because I love a quick little 5-minute game or 10-minute game of that's not just here's a question, answer a question, here's a question, answer a question, just something a bit different. So we'll see how that goes. And then finally, I've got a little ad down the bottom for the Great Logic Maze, which is another website I'm creating. As anyone who has watched my other videos will know, I love logic mazes and I am reviewing logic mazes all the time. And I'm currently creating my own logic maze. I'm creating it with 4 different levels from easy to hard, so it will cater for basically everyone who might enjoy that type of thing. And it's going to be under the heading of Curated Logic as well. So yes, so that's the home page. The only other things that I'm going to show you today, one is if you click through to, I hope this works. Yes, it did. So again, this is not going to be a finished page. Still quite a bit of work to do. I have to add more images and things like that. But you're going to be able to go in, find out what the latest quizzes are, find out the most popular quizzes, and also get just a random quiz. It will pull out a random quiz for you to try, which is something I've always really enjoyed on trivia websites when I'm not sure which one I want to do and I don't want to keep on going back to the same stuff and learning the same stuff. I often will do a random one, just something that I might know nothing about, just to learn. It's not always about getting the highest score, it's about learning something new. And then again, you've got your categories, so you can choose a category and it will show you your minor categories under that category underneath, under, and you will be able to then choose one of the last 5 or 10 that have been done under each minor category, or go through to a web page that will show you, again, all the quizzes. For the actual quizzes, let's choose a quiz here. Let's go World Capitals. Again, it's not completely done, but basically, you're going to get something like this. You can choose, as I've explained before in some videos, but I haven't shown everyone, you can choose between flashcards, quiz, or memory. So flashcards is really to learn the information. You don't get scored on flashcards or anything like that. It's just really to learn the information. You can go back and forth as much as you want. Quiz is then your first point of really testing yourself. So it's a multiple choice quiz and you get a score for whatever answers you get correctly. You answer correctly. And finally, memory is a memory quiz. So once you've learned the information, you've tested yourself on quiz, you go through and you don't get multiple choice, you just get asked a question and have to type in the answer. And however many you get right on that, you also get points. So I'll just quickly show you what each different type of quiz looks like. Each one also, you can choose between 20 questions, 50 questions, or all questions. That shouldn't say undefined right now. It should actually say 55 or however many I've created so far. But I'll fix that eventually. That way, there are 3 different levels. So if you can only be really quick, you can just do 20 questions. If you have a bit more time, you can do 50, or you can do all of them. Obviously, not all quizzes are going to have more than 50 questions. So if it only has like 13 questions, you can only choose all. You can't choose 20 or 50. Or if it only has 45 questions, you can only choose 20 or all. You can't choose 50 because there's not enough. But that will be quite obvious once things are blacked out and stuff. So you would choose something for flashcards, and at this point, it actually used to have a little question above, but because I've changed the way I'm coding, it's changed the formatting of my quizzes. So it should say, what is the capital city of? And then it gives you the country, which is Madagascar, and you click the answer and you get the answer. And it gives you a little bit of information about the answer. I've chosen these bits of information based on what I think are the best tidbits that will help you retain the original answer. So it's not always going to be the easiest thing to retain the information you learn, because you'll be getting a lot of information as you go. But I'm hoping that some of these little things will help you remember a few here and there, as many as possible. Okay, then you of course you click next, you get another question and answer, and there you go. Once that's all done, once you have answered a question, you will down the bottom rate how well you knew that answer. And the reason you do that is because when you go back to do the same flashcards, I am going to create this to present to you flashcards that you know the least more than flashcards you know the most. So it doesn't mean you're always going to get, if you know something perfectly, you're never going to get it again. You might, but it's going to come back a lot less than something that you originally put. I had no idea about that. That's, again, just to help you learn more efficiently. So if we go back to world capitals, it should go back to the beginning, hopefully. It does. And then we'll show you quiz. So again, ignore the design a little bit because it's all a bit out of kilter with stuff that's been going on. But again, it's exactly what I explained. You're going to be answering a question. Of course, I know these answers. It's not going to say you is smart or you is dumb as it does. That is just something that my brother put in as a bit of a joke while we were testing it, just as a bit of fun to see if it was working. But it is basically going to look similar to this. You're going to have up at the top here on the left 3 little lifelines to use if you get in trouble. You're going to have your score and the top scores so you can see what you have to try and beat. But the design obviously is going to be much more refined and things aren't going to be going above and below lines and stuff like that. But basically, that is what it's going to be. And then once you finish, so let me just go through. Take some time and go through. It should. So that is actually going to become a modal. So it will give you all the information about this. Information is obviously wrong because I haven't set it to be dynamic yet. But this will be a little modal just saying, here is how well you did in this round. Here is everyone else's, how well they've done on average, just so you can really get a gauge of where you sit amongst everyone that's played. And that's something that I, again, always really enjoy. I don't like just doing it and testing myself against myself. I like to know where I am in the scheme of things. And then finally, get rid of that. Finally, memory. Again, really simple. Oh, doesn't even exist. Well, there you go. I have actually done this, so I think it's, again, because I've had to change some of the formatting, that it's now deleted some stuff. Well, not deleted it, but just made it not appear. But basically, it's going to be the same as the quiz, look the same as the quiz, except it's just going to have a single line. You type in the answer. If you get it right, it should automatically, you don't have to press enter, it should automatically just disappear, and you get told that you got it right, and then you get a score added to you. Outside of that, there's going to be trivia battles, so you're going to set, there's nothing really to see here, but again, you're going to set either a quiz that you want to do against a friend or a group of friends, or you can do a public battle where anyone can join, and you set a limit of a number of people limit, or a time limit, and as many people who want to can join, and it gives you a rank out of all those people. So again, it's all pretty basic. It's all stuff that people have done before, but I'm just hoping to do it in a really aesthetically pleasing way, a way that flows really well and is really simple. And I also you're going to be able to create your own quizzes, which again, a lot of sites do, but I want to do it in a way that you're going to be able to create them, embed them, have them look really nice, really simple for schools and for kids to use. Because I think, again, when I was younger, one of the main ways that I loved to learn was doing this. So that's what I've been working on. I am really happy with the website, and I'm very proud of what I've done, and I'm really enjoying learning to code and doing what I'm doing. But I expect it's probably going to be about another 6 months before I get anything released. So keep up to date with everything on this channel and all my other socials, which are linked below. And hopefully when it is released, you will enjoy it. Before I go though, I just want to give 2 shout outs if I can. One first to my little brother. He's only 2 years younger than me, so he's not little, but my little brother, who is a software engineer and who has been helping me tremendously with little bits and pieces when I've needed help. I actually went and saw him before lockdowns happened and before any kind of social distancing happened. I went across to the other side of the country where he lives and most of my family live, and spent a good number of days with him working on stuff and really nutting out what I had to do and how I had to proceed. And it was invaluable, and it's so much of what I am doing now is because of him. So I really thank you, Sven. And I also just want to thank Harry Cunningham, who is my best friend's young son, who painted me this. Just because when days are hard, and when I think about how much work I have to do, and it's really hard sometimes to kind of get motivated when you are doing a loop of the same thing again and again and getting nowhere, which I've found coding to sometimes be. I just have to look at this and remember this, the present that he gave me last time I was there, to know that I have people who are really supportive of me and really are excited about what I'm doing. So I'm move forward. I am moving forward with everything because of people like that. So hi Harry, and thank you very much for my lovely painting. I look at it every day. And yes, so like I say, keep up to date with everything. I will be back in a couple of days with a review video. So I'm going to do a review video on Scrabble Go, which is the new Scrabble app, official Scrabble app. I'm a big Scrabble head. I love Scrabble, and they've released a new app replacing their old Scrabble app. And I'm just going to do a little bit of a review and say what I like about the new one, what I don't like. That's what a review is, so I didn't really need to say that, but there you go. All right. Keep your brain active, guys. Have fun, and I'll see you in a few days. Bye.